Look at all of these people having fun while cooking, just living their lives and being unaware of the horrible, horrendous truth. What do all of these pictures have in common, do I hear you ask? Let's talk about vent hoods. The staple of every modern kitchen, one more elegant than the other, some louder than the other. They are nice to use and protect your kitchen from airborne grease, fumes, smoke, heat, anything that's in the air really. However, most of them have one fatal flaw. For example, here's my vent hood. It looks good. I have some recipes on it. Just keep going up. The second camera keeps going up as well. And there you go. That's a gap right there. You can make the gap smaller by adjusting the screw and pushing the casing up, but you will never get fully rid of the gap, and the metal casing might sag down over time. I used to live in a house without a vent hood, so I had to buy and install one myself. That's when I realized it was really difficult to get rid of the gap in between the ceiling and the metal casing. So here's what I came up with. The big bolt attaches the main part to the wall. The nut goes into the red slider, which slides down into the main part. Then the screw screws into the nut, effectively creating a wedge. You can move the slider up or down by turning the screw. Sandwiching the metal casing of the exhaust hood between the screw head and the main part enables you to lift the exhaust hood by turning the screw. Now you're pushing the metal casing up against the ceiling to get rid of any gaps by just a few turns of the screw. I printed the two parts, and for demonstration purposes I will be using a piece of cardboard instead of the vent hood. The assembly is quite simple, and as you can see you can change the height of the cardboard just by turning the screw. I am not allowed to drill holes into my wall and implement this feature into my current place, so I need to survive with the gap between my vent hood and the ceiling. However, I do have some footage from my old place. Here is a picture of the main part mounted to the wall within the metal casing. And here's the view from outside of the casing. As you can see, the gap disappears after a few turns of the screw. It works surprisingly well. I looked into a few companies that sell both high and low end vent hoods. I have not been able to find anyone who implements this simple mechanism in their mounting hardware. It is definitely not the biggest problem in the world and most people won't notice. But it's one of those things that's impossible to ignore once you know about it. And it would be a nice finish to have from a customer's point of view. If you are interested in using this, then the STL files will be available on my Thingiverse, link in the description. I was working on a bigger project, but I encountered some last minute problems and I need to return a couple of things, which might take a while, so hence this smaller video. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.